After the Sienna going fully hybrid, now the Camry going fully hybrid, the future for Toyota is more hybrid than it is battery electric, at least in the near term. And we have new information about upcoming Toyota hybrids and their hybrid rollout across the lineup. If you're excited for Toyota hybrids, make sure to smash the like button and let's get into it. Toyota bets big on hybrid-only models as EV demand slows. This comes right after I just dropped off the kids in my 2012 Prius, and my drop-off drive cycle, I got 52 miles per gallon. That vehicle is, 12 years old at this point, still pulling over 50 mpgs, and newer hybrids are even better than my third-gen hybrid system, the new fifth-gen system that we see. We see a part of it in the Corolla. I feel like it's not as good as the Camry's fifth gen system, but anyways, we do have big Corolla news, which I was not expecting at all, and I have Corolla news from multiple sources. So guys, we got a lot to sift through today, but let's get into this article from Reuters, and it is jam-packed with where Toyota is heading with their hybrids. Akio Toyoda and his successor Koji Sato said, hey, by 2030, the market's going to be about 30% BEV globally, and the rest of Toyota's vehicles are mainly going to be hybrids probably at that point. We'll also see alternative fuels by 2030 as well. Well, I'm not exactly sold on that. Maybe in 20, 30 years, we'll see uptakes of alternative fuels, but in the near term, I don't think it's going to be a thing. David Christ, head of sales and marketing Toyota North America. I last saw him at the reveal of the 4Runner at a beach near San Diego, right? Going forward, we plan to evaluate car line by car line whether going all hybrid makes sense. We have a ton of all hybrid models currently for Toyota. I mentioned the Camry. We have the Sienna. The Crown models are fully hybrid. The Venza, rest in peace, was fully hybrid. If you look at like the Lexus UX, it's fully hybrid at this point, but it's not going to stop there. They're saying that the RAV4, and this is along what I've been hearing too, again, it's not gospel yet, but they're saying when the RAV4 gets an overhaul for the 2026 model year, which will come in 2025, which means we'll get a reveal probably at the LA Auto Show in November of 2024, which I'll be there to bring you guys the reveal of the new RAV4. More than likely, it will be fully hybrid. And the hybrid sales for the RAV4 have been ramping up. More than half of the RAV4 sales so far this year have been hybrid. Many of the hybrid-only models will also likely come as a plug-in hybrid with a bigger battery, according to two people who declined to be named. Obviously, the RAV4 Prime is a prime example of that. We've had a Prime since 2018, 2019 in the RAV4. Now, does that mean since the Camry is fully hybrid, we're going to get a plug-in hybrid Camry? I know a lot of people have been excited for the idea of a plug-in hybrid Camry. That to me still seems unlikely. In fact, I would expect a fully electric Camry before I see a plug-in hybrid Camry. But time will tell on what happens with Toyota. Maybe since BEVs are cooling off more and more, maybe they pull that idea of a fully BEV Camry and maybe they offer a plug-in hybrid. But I just don't know if the current platform size with the K platform in a sedan can fit that sort of size of battery in a plug-in hybrid. I feel like the packaging of the Camry would have to change. But we've never seen a Toyota sedan be able to fit such a large battery alongside of internal combustion components in that K platform. So I still think it's a very slim chance we see a plug-in hybrid and the fully hybrid Camry. But my vehicle that I've been waiting for years, you guys know I have a bunch of kids, would be a plug-in hybrid Sienna. Give us all-wheel drive, over 300 horsepower, 40 miles of electric range. I'm still waiting for that vehicle. And there's a new battery plant coming online we'll talk about later on in this article, which is going to not only help the mass electrification of hybrids, but also plug-in hybrids for something like the Sienna as well. Now, will Toyota convert all or almost all of its North American lineup to hybrid-only vehicles? Well, no, because Toyota has said, at least on their GR side, They're Gazoo Racing. They don't want hybrids in there for as long as possible. And I think they're going to keep it that way even past 2030 if they can help it. It also depends on the regulations from different countries around the world, whether they'll be forced to use hybrids in their sports cars, but I know they absolutely do not want to. Now, here's the thing. They talk a lot about legislation here, and, by 2032, with those new emission standards, that can all change and be thrown out the window if a new administration gets put in. If Trump gets in, there's going to be some big changes to the oil industry, the emissions, regulations, all that stuff will change. So in the meantime, Toyota's kind of playing the safe role. They already have the technology developed for the most part for their current hybrids and plug-in hybrids, but that will be changing again in the near future, I believe. Chris said Toyota hasn't set a deadline for producing an all-hybrid lineup. And he says pickups and economy cars may take longer because of consumer price sensitivity. Well, I already mentioned sports cars, which Chris didn't mention here. Toyota said they don't want to go electrified in sports cars for as long as possible. But pickups, well, Tacoma hybrid, the Tundra hybrid, the Sequoia hybrid, they are expensive. Now, economy cars, well, there's only kind of one economy car left, and that is the Corolla. So it doesn't sound like the next generation Corolla is going to be fully hybrid. Now, this is where it gets really exciting because this ties the Corolla back in. All right. In May, we had the multi-pathway workshop with Subaru, Toyota, and Mazda showing off different new engines, different hybrids, and they could run on biofuels or alternative fuels or even hydrogen if need be. All of those engines are designed to work in conjunction with hybrid transaxles. But they're saying the main point of scaling down these new engines is not necessarily because of the emissions cuts within the engine itself. Actually, I expect these engines potentially to create higher emissions, but because of the smaller footprint that it has, a smaller displacement, that works well for taxes and other purposes in other countries. But they're saying because the engines are so much smaller now, they can essentially be used as range extenders in EVs, or you could say practical EVs is what Toyota has been calling them. So they start with an EV platform, which could be gigacasted. We're seeing BYD use similar technology. So they start with an EV platform, a really large battery in the vehicle, and have a tiny, tiny little engine in the front. And they're able to keep a really low hood line for aerodynamics. And according to one of their two sources at Reuters, the first hybrid based on the new platform and engine will be a Corolla plug-in hybrid. I did not expect a Corolla plug-in hybrid. David Christ just said, as we go back, Toyota hasn't set a deadline for producing all hybrid lineup, and that certain models such as pickups and economy cars may take longer because of the consumer price sensitivity on entry-level versions. Well, the Corolla is an entry-level in America, but it sounds like they're going to have a non-hybrid, a hybrid, and potentially a plug-in hybrid. Now, it's going to hit China first, then hit the United States in 2027. It would also have to hit Europe. You got to remember, Europe sells a lot of Corollas, and in fact, they sell the most desirable Corolla outside of the GR Corolla, but the most desirable Corolla is the Corolla Sports Touring. It is a wagon Corolla, and this morning I saw a wagon Corolla on my way to drop off the kids from school. I had to snap a picture, and I'm like, man, will Toyota bring back a Corolla wagon? I think a plug-in hybrid Corolla wagon, make it exclusive in that wagon. Maybe you can't get the plug-in hybrid in the standard sedan or hatchback, but you can get it in the wagon. That would be amazing. Check this out. Over at Best Car Web in Japan, the most reliable source of upcoming vehicles, coming out at pretty much at the same time. Articles in different areas of the world talking about the same thing. This new engine technology that's going to be in the new Harrier. Now, the Harrier just got discontinued in the United States. The Harrier was the Venza here, and it's one of the best buys in the Toyota lineup. Snap one up if you still can before they're completely off the market. But this is that little 1.5 liter mated to a hybrid setup. And they're saying that the first vehicles to get this new small 1.5 liter engine is going to be the Harrier / Venza and the next gen Corolla. Next gen Corolla should be coming in 2026. as a 2027 model year, just 1 year after the RAV4 gets redesigned. And the Harrier, though, will have a 1.5 liter turbo, and then the Corolla will have a 1.5 liter naturally aspirated. They're saying this next gen 1.5 liter four cylinder has small volume, low height, and will be placed in the front section of the BEV platform. This plug-in hybrid, which are also called practical BEVs, do not require about running out of battery or where to charge them, and will be added to Toyota's omnidirectional strategy. Here in the United States, they call that the multi-pathway approach. The Harrier plug-in hybrid will be equipped with a next-generation turbo engine built on a next-generation BEV platform, while the Corolla will be a hybrid electric vehicle equipped with next-generation naturally aspirated engine built on an improved version of the GAC platform. Okay, so if they're able to come off with a plug-in hybrid on the GAC platform, then in theory, they should be able to come out with a plug-in hybrid on the GAK platform, which the Camry is based off of. But they're saying from then on, models in the same class will one after another adopt new systems using next generation engines. So the new Camry hybrid with a 2.5 liter, that could be replaced eventually by a new 1.5 turbo or 1.5 naturally aspirated. Now, will we see the RAV4 move to this BEV platform with a plug-in hybrid situation? No, I think the RAV4 still has to cater to the North American market. So it'll be based on the K platform hybrid only as its base form, and then have a plug-in hybrid or mass-produced as the prime. But I think this Harrier is going to be a next generation past what we'll have in the RAV4. And this Harrier will probably be released in 2026 instead of the RAV4's 2025. So it will supplant the RAV4 in technology more than likely. Now, they say hybrids for Toyota accounted for just 9% of Toyota sales in 2018. But they are 37% as of June, and it is going up and up and up. David Chris says next year will definitely be over the 50% of our volume. Check this out. Here's my hybrid spreadsheet rollout, or you could say hybrid penetration or volume percentage, and EV percentage, including battery electric and plug-in hybrids and fuel cells and normal hybrids. Anyways, check this out. Toyota's EV volume in Q1 of 2025 will be over 50%. Now, when you mix in Lexus, it'll be just under 50%. Looking at Q1 of 2026, when I'm expecting the RAV4 to be fully on sale as a hybrid or plug-in hybrid only, we have over 61%. Toyota's just so safe right now, regardless of which administration gets in, regardless of where consumer demand may go. I think that's the most important thing, where consumer demand is going to lead them. Their hybrids buy them time regardless. And with this new battery plant in North Carolina coming up with 14 production lines producing 30 gigawatt hours of batteries, they'll be able to produce as many hybrids as they want, as many plug-in hybrids as they want. And remember, they also have a contract with LG to produce EV batteries for their 3-row crossovers in North Carolina. They have all their bases covered with efficient, affordable, reliable hybrids. They'll have next-gen hybrids coming, next-generation gasoline engines that can be a Swiss Army knife for performance cars. We'll see those next-gen engines producing tons of power, and the so-called MR2 and Celica that are coming, but we'll see them also trickle down to Lexus and Toyota models with high efficiency, high flexibility. That's the most important thing for Toyota right now, is flexibility with their next-gen engines to produce whatever vehicle the market demands of them. So Toyota's sitting pretty right now. They don't feel like they're pinned against the wall to produce EVs because they have the world's best hybrid technology. And it looks like that's not going to change in the near future. It's only going to get better as they're able to even strengthen their hybrid technology. If we look at what BYD is using in China, small internal combustion engines, large battery packs for really extremely long-range plug-in hybrids. Toyota is going to be doing similar things with the Corolla, it looks like, with the Harrier, and that will trickle down to vehicles here in North America, outside of the Corolla, of course, possibly the Sienna, three-row crossovers like the Grand Highlander could happen. It's just they have so many places they can go with this technology. And it's just they've got it figured out in the near term as BEVs are sputtering in desirability here in the United States. They're sputtering in practicality with the lack of infrastructure in the United States. It's very interesting. But even if the market or the legislation pushes more towards BEV, it seems like they got their bases covered there. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe for more auto industry news, and I'll catch you in the next one.